Hi everyone, it's Chris and Catherine Herman with 00 Wines in Carlton, Oregon. We're very excited to be here with you today and to announce the arrival of our 2017 Corton-Charlemagne, which we produced with our French director of winemaking, Pierre Millman, and which has now arrived in Oregon, and we're going to open it up and taste it with you today.
Oh my gosh, there it is.
Oh my gosh, there it is.
All right.
27 00 Corton-Charlemagne.
2017.
Look at that.
Those bottles are heavy.
Bottles are really heavy. Look at that.
Well, this is really amazing. Did you think
really,
this day would ever come?
Wow, it's really, really exciting. The dream started in 2016 to produce world-class Chardonnay in the Corton-Charlemagne vineyard, and here we are. It's 2020, and we're finally having our 2017 Corton-Charlemagne here in Carlton, Oregon.
We designed this bottle to be like a sister wine to all of our Oregon bottlings. So you'll see a few similarities. One is the wax top that 00 Wines is known for on all of our bottlings. So we have black here. And then, of course, we kept our 00 label, Corton-Charlemagne, in the stamp font. And then we have our sort of modern font, Grand Cru 2017. It's a nice sort of textured, very thick black paper, and all of the 00 Corton-Charlemagne is a raised embossed, and I just think it looks beautiful.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, what do you think?
You and the rest of the design team did a fantastic job, and what
Yeah.
we're also very excited about is we wanted to explore the potential of producing Chardonnay both here in Oregon and in Corton-Charlemagne, working with the same director of winemaking, Pierre Millman. And what we found out is that the wines are very related because of the similarity in methods that we use to produce the wine in both locations. And we wanted the bottle and the design to reflect the fact that these aren't wines that we were attempting to make identically, but rather they're wines that are clearly related. So we view the 00 Corton-Charlemagne as the sister to the Chardonnays that we're producing here in the Willamette Valley. And because they're related but different, as you know, our capsule for our Oregon Chardonnays is bright yellow. The capsule for the Corton-Charlemagne is black because it is truly a Grand Cru wine, and we wanted the capsule as well as the label, which is black, to reflect the power of that wine and the incredible texture that you get from that very, very unique terroir.
Yeah, and to me this package, looking at it for the first time, it kind of reminds me of, if you had a really cool cousin who was coming to visit you from Paris for the weekend, in all black leather and looking très chic.
Right. So this is the French sister or French cousin. It's finally here, and now we want to open it up and try to figure out exactly how the taste and the texture and the aromatic relate to the Oregon wines.
Yeah. So how about I open it up, Chris, and why don't you talk about the Corton-Charlemagne vineyard in general for everybody?
Right. So the inspiration for the 00 project here in Oregon was our love of and longtime enjoyment and appreciation of fantastic white Burgundy. And among the great white Burgundies, certainly the Hill of Corton, which stretches from Pernon-Vergelès in the west and southwest to Alus-Corton in the east to La Doise-Serigny, is one of the great vineyards and one of the great terroir white wines of the entire world. And in Burgundy, as many writers have pointed out, including Matt Kramer, the top vineyards really are Corton-Charlemagne and then Montrachet and Chevalier-Montrachet in the Côte d'Or. And then they're only potentially equaled or similar to the great Grand Crus of the Chablis region. So we're very fortunate to have the chance to buy fruit and produce a wine from this unique vineyard, and it is unique because it has tremendous texture. And of the great white wines of the Côte d'Or, it is the wine that is reputed to have, and we find in our own example, to have a unique texture, which is a reflection of what's clearly a unique and spectacular terroir. When you go to the Hill of Corton, you know it's unique because of all the Grand Cru vineyards, it's the one that is the most imposing and singular in its physical appearance. So it's a wine that expresses the terroir of Corton-Charlemagne in a beautiful, beautiful, intense, piercing, and fascinating way. And we can't wait to drink it today and can't wait for you to try it.
So let's talk a little bit about the corks in the bottles. So let's talk about the bottle and why we selected it. Savor glass. We really, really want a beautiful, heavy bottle, beautiful packaging because, you know, wine is supposed to be fun, but Grand Cru White Burgundy is a serious wine. So we wanted the sort of the heft of the bottle and the entire look and feel to sort of reflect that. And also we are using the same corks that we use for all of our domestic wines as well.
They're produced by Aquitaine Liège, and it's the same cork producer that Domaine de la Romanée-Conti uses. So it's a tremendous cork, and it's one that is designed to be the perfect closure for a wine that can age for decades. And while we are excited about drinking the 2017, we definitely see it as a wine, and we ourselves are going to do it, that we're going to be putting away to be drinking over the next couple of decades. And we want to be sure that you have a closure, which is the perfect cork to keep that wine aging beautifully over all of those years. But first we're going to put it in this vessel, because what we have seen with great Corton-Charlemagnes that we have drunk over the years is that these are definitely wines that you want to decant, particularly when they're young. So our recommendation is that you decant this wine for at least 2 hours before drinking it, and that you drink it at slightly warmer than cellar temperature, because this wine is a wine above all of texture, and you don't want the texture to be suppressed slightly by the cold temperature of the wine. So we are opening it at about 60 degrees and then letting it warm up slightly in the decanter and then drinking it. So let's decant it, and then we'll come back in a couple of hours and see what we think.
All right, go for it. Okay.
So the wine is a beautiful golden color. Distinctive, powerful aromatics, which come from the heavy extraction of phenolic compounds in the skins that we do with this Corton-Charlemagne, the same way that we do it with our Oregon Chardonnays. So there's immediately a similarity in the nose. It's different. There's greater power in this wine, but there's definitely that phenolic thread that's here as well as in our 00 Willamette Valley Chardonnays.
Yeah, there's definitely a relationship. That's so interesting.
Wow, yeah. Great power. Corton-Charlemagne is a wine that has great power, but the beauty of it is that it isn't heavy. And it's 13% alcohol, so you get a wine that has tremendous finesse in the mouth. It has nice, bright, fresh, natural acidity, and has really gorgeous texture. And again, the texture is really a combination of the terroir and the winemaking methods that we use, but it's primarily an expression of the terroir of Corton-Charlemagne, and that's what comes through in this wine really magnificently.
You know what's really interesting to me about this wine? I love a wine with great structure, and I always think about wine in the form of shapes when I taste it, and so oftentimes it's like a wave. A wine for me will come in sort of soft and then a great mid palate and then drop off, or maybe a wine is more angular, it's on the front of the palate and then the mid palate spikes and then it trails off. But this wine, to me, it's like a wine that was built by an architect, really. The structure is just so long and so powerful. It's like a sleek but very complicated building. I don't know, that's the way I think about wine.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it has tremendous structure, as you said, which again is coming from the tannins, the phenols that are in the skins of the Chardonnay, and it definitely is expressed beautifully here. No question about it. And really a beautiful, long, elegant, complex finish with tremendous length in the wine. You can really taste it in your mouth for quite a while after you have had it. It's
Yeah.
really fantastic. So it has exactly what we were hoping it would have: power, distinction, complexity, beautiful acid, beautiful balance. With an overall elegance of presentation that really is the epitome of a Grand Cru Chardonnay.
And this is what we talk about all the time when we make our wines here in the Willamette Valley as well, is balance. And that's a word that Pierre Millman uses with us and with the 00 wines all the time. And because he made this wine himself with his own hand, it really makes sense that it would have just the beautiful power, but the balance that we're all seeking.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Are you excited?
The wine is here. We're thrilled, and we look forward to having you have this wine in your glass and letting us know your own impressions. So, Santé, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Santé!